Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to another turkey pattern test. And I've got another pretty interesting one today that I'm really curious to see how well it can actually do. It may produce some really good looking results, and it may just not be the right combination. I really don't know. But for the shell we're going to be running out here today, I brought out some more of these. These are a Salt Creek custom load of 2 ounces of lead number 4 shot. So being Salt Creek, a lot of people think TSS, but they can load lead shot as well, just like this. And this load of 4s has shown us some really good looking results so far out of my 1187 with a 675 choke. So I'm really curious to see what it can do in today's combination, since I know how finicky or how tricky sometimes that these number 4s can be to get to pattern really well. So as for that setup we're going to be running today, I brought out my Mossberg 835 Ulti-Mag. However, I threw in this choke. This is the stock turkey full choke that the gun came with. It's a 710 constriction, so definitely a little bit more on the open side, but this factory turkey full choke has proven itself several times to us that it can absolutely perform with a variety of different loads that we've tested. So I'm hoping with it being that little bit more open constriction that these number 4s have a little bit more room to breathe, which is what they seem to like, is that little bit more open constriction. So I have some high hopes for this, so we'll see what it can actually do. It may be great, it might not be the right combination. I really don't know. But as for our test, we have the usual, which is the turkey target set up at 40 yards. I also have my chronograph, so we'll be able to see what kind of speed we're getting out of these. So let's take you guys down and get you a view of the target. I'll head up to 40 yards, shoot a shot across the chronograph. We'll glance at what numbers we got, and then we'll go see how they performed. So let's head over here and shoot them and see what this combination can give us. Alright, so that round gave us 1138 feet per second across the chronograph. That's right about where I would expect it to be, right around 1100, give or take a little bit. So nothing too out of the ordinary here. So let's go check our target down at 40 yards and see how they performed. Alright, so now we're down here at our 40-yard target, and this is what we got. We do have a dead turkey here. We have 2 in his brain and 1 in the spine, a little bit lower. So we absolutely have a dead bird. But if we look at our pattern, it's pretty interesting. It's not what I would call a super large pattern or anything. The overall circumference of the pattern looks pretty good. It's just not quite as condensed of a core area in this particular test. So that choke gave us some pretty interesting results, I guess. It will absolutely get the job done out to 40 yards for you for sure, but I don't know. I don't really see any super major flyers except for maybe 1 or 2 of these down here, but overall it's not bad by any means for a load of lead 4s. But I definitely think with that being a stock turkey full quote-unquote choke, being at a 710 constriction, it's just not quite enough for these number 4s, which would make sense seeing as how they did really well in my 1187 with a 675 constriction choke. I really think that is where these 4s shine. There's not a whole lot wrong with that at all. There's not really anywhere that turkey can move his head on that piece of paper and not be a dead bird. But I don't know, that's just pretty interesting. I definitely think it being that little bit more open constriction opened our pattern up just a little bit, as in not quite as hot of a core area, but our overall circumference of the pattern still looks pretty good. But this is definitely a pretty interesting one, so let me know your thoughts about it. But either way, it would still absolutely do the job for you. Okay, and this is the wad we got out of that shell, and it's nothing really all that special to see here. It's not ripped up or torn up or anything like that. It doesn't have anything as far as shot or buffer material stuck down in there. So I definitely think it did what it was supposed to do in this case. So not really anything super special to point out as far as this wad goes. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that performance? It is definitely good enough to get the job done for you, and we know that those number 4s are tricky to get to pattern well, but the shell and the load in itself is a good load. We've seen really good performance out of it. So I just think the combination of those 4s, that loading with a little bit more open 710 choke like that, just opened it up a little bit for us. It's still not bad by any means, but it is just that little bit more open for you, which may not be a bad thing, especially for those of you who shoot your birds in really close and still prefer a load of number 4s, that would absolutely get the job done for you. But at the end of the day, what do you guys think about it? And is that a shell and a loading and a combination that you would use? Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts about it. And I do have to thank Keith and the guys over at Salt Creek for sending me some of these shells. I'm not sponsored by them or paid to tell you anything. I'm just here to do some testing with the shells and see what they can do. So they're definitely great guys over there, and if you like what you see out of the Salt Creek stuff, just go check them out because they definitely make some good shells. But either way, leave your thoughts down below, and I'm going to jump back to doing some more testing. We've got plenty more stuff coming out, especially now that we're getting close to deer season. So stay tuned for that stuff because that's going to be some fun videos. But I'm going to jump back to it, and I'll see y'all in the next one.